What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel WWE Elite Collection Series 31 Kane. Here we have Kane in the packaging. Now I know what you're saying, another Kane figure? Didn't you already review two other ones? Yes, and it just so happened to be this attire similar to it. I really like this Kane. You know, Kane's one of my favorite wrestlers. Granted, his new thing is kind of sucky, but yeah, we have another Kane in the packaging, and as you can see, it includes a mask. This Kane's mask can come off, which is why I really like this Kane. But going on, we have a nice little read-up of Kane. On the back it says, Kane, one of the most terrifying monsters to ever stalk the ring. The 7-foot, 300-pound Kane made his debut at Bad Blood 1997 during the first ever Hell in a Cell match. In the years that followed, Kane built a reputation for sadism and sheer insanity, even forcing a WWE diva, Lita, to marry him. Ordered into anger management therapy, his doctor forced him to form a tag team partnership with his greatest rival, Daniel Bryan. The pairing worked, and the two soon captured the WWE Tag Team Championships as Team Hell No, holding it for 8 months. After the team broke up, Kane swore allegiance to Stephanie McMahon and the Authority, and was named WWE's Director of Operations. At his next match, he showed up in a suit and tie, earning him the name Corporate Kane. But despite his recent tailored appearance, the fire still burns inside Kane. Now, I gotta say that the read-up is a little outdated because he's back as Corporate Kane. But anyway, other figures in this line include Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, Dean Ambrose, The Rock, and Vader. Not much more to say about the packaging, so what I'm going to do now is take a little break, get him open up, and we'll go on to the rest of his review. So sit tight, everyone. And so here we have Kane posing out of packaging. Now let's get a good 360 of this guy. Now, I know what you're going to say, another Kane figure. Kane, really? Really, you went out and bought another Kane figure that is the exact same as Elite 22 Kane? Yes and no, because there are some slight variations between him and the Elite 22 Kane. Let's move him off to the side so we can bring in the Elite 22 Kane, and let's actually move him back a little. And we have him next to the Elite 22 Kane, and as you can see, there's not a lot of differences between them, but it is enough that it's a different figure. For starters, I'm not sure the camera can pick this up, but the Elite 22 Kane has a nicer red. His is a little more faded, a little more like pinkish. His is actually red. And if you can't tell, the head sculpt is completely different. The boots are also different. As you can see, Elite 22 has glossy boots. He has a matte finish. Kane wears glossy boots. I don't know why he has matte finish on this figure. But besides that, the head sculpt is completely different. This Kane's mask is affixed to his head sculpt, which means the mask and the head sculpt are one piece. You can see there's a little chin strap right there. And I'm pretty sure if you were to take the head off, it would be like, yeah, it's red right there. The head is red, painted flesh color. This Kane's head is flesh color because the mask is removable. Moving that Kane off to the side. His one and only accessory is his removable mask. And as you can see, his mask comes off, and there's a really nice face sculpt of Glenn Jacobs. I'm going to say that the mask is completely inaccurate. Let's actually get it back on his head really fast so we can bring in another Kane. So, 1 second. And so here we have him next to the ringside collectible Kane, and both of them do feature removable masks. As you can see, they do have different head sculpts. His is a little chunkier. I'm actually surprised that his head sculpt is chunkier than his, seeing as how you'd think the older Kane would be. Never mind, but it is the exact same mask sculpt. I'm not sure if you can see that. Where this one has the stitching in the sculpting, this one also carries that same sculpt. kind of a cop-out from Mattel, but you know what? From a distance, you really can't tell. They do look different enough that you can't tell they're the same mask, even though they are. The hair is also a different color. This one's darker brown, this one's a lighter brown. And the mask fits on snug enough that it's not going to come off his head, as you can see. It's actually a nice snug fit on this one. But let's move the mask off to the side so we can go on to some of his detail. Like I said, really nice face sculpt of Glenn Jacobs. He also does have a nice... I don't know what that's called when there's a swirl in the back of your head, but they actually captured that on this figure. I do have some gripes about this Kane, one being that his attire is inaccurate. Let me get the camera focused, and you're probably wondering, why is his attire inaccurate? Well, he doesn't wear this attire anymore. This era of Kane wore more like a singlet, kind of like Undertaker. And I don't know why they stuck with this, I guess to save on cost and whatnot, but yeah, I think they really should have just done the Undertaker singlet for this Kane. You know, make it enough of a variation versus the other figures. But other than, oh, and elbow pads. He needed the smaller elbow pads. Kane did not wear the large elbow pads when he relinquished his mask. Come to think of it, he didn't wear them when he put the mask back on, so, you know, the smaller elbow pads would have been better, but anyway, going on, he does have the standard Elite articulation, ball jointed head. He can look up, down, left and right, as well as tilt his head side to side. Arms on a ball joint go out, do a full 360. He spins at the bicep, he bends at the elbow, single joint, spins and bends at the wrist, and it's the same for both arms. He has the ab crunch, waist swivel, legs go forward and back, they're pretty stiff. Out, he spins at the thigh, double jointed in the knees, swivels at the boot, has a hinged ankle, really stiff joint, as well as some slight pivot. So all the articulation you'd expect from Kane, really nice. And what I'm going to do now is get him posed up and move on to my final thoughts. Then we'll wrap up this review, so sit tight everyone. So here we have Kane posed for my final thoughts, and overall, I'm really excited I found this guy. Kane was one of the harder figures to find in Elite 31. Surprising? Yes. I don't know why, but he just was. Him, Vader, and The Rock seem to be the three hardest ones to find. But I'm glad I found him. I actually stumbled on him at Walmart. I went in, you know, saw Elite 31 was still on the shelves, saw that there was only one Kane left. That kind of surprises me, because you wouldn't expect that. But I picked him up, and, you know, I did a price match, because Toys R Us has these on sale right now for $16.99. So it came out to about $18 with tax. That's a really good price to be paying for Elite figures, especially because most of the, like, Target and Walmart, Kmart, they're all charging like $18.99 for Elite figures. If you can find Kane and you're a fan of Kane, I say pick this guy up. If you don't want another Elite Kane, go ahead and pass on him. I like the mask gimmick. I don't know why I'm really fond of like gimmicks where the figure's mask can come off and on. It harkens back to my childhood when Batman toys were like that. But anyway, I digress. If you can find Kane, like I said, if you're a fan of Kane, pick him up. If not, go ahead and pass on him. I picked him up because I enjoy the figure and I like the gimmick. If it's not your cup of tea, go ahead and pass on him. And this is King Dragons 5000 saying, I will see you later. Take care, everyone. もう一度だけでいい